So welcome to District 4, the best place to be for information and news. I'm your host, A-Love, here with A-Rod. Super excited today. We are starting our series on sports. We're going to start by talking about basketball today, right?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
The real team. What are we talking about today?
So, what we're going to talk about, I'm complaining all day today. That's it. I'm just going to complain, and y'all just going to deal with it. So pretty much, it's to the point where like teams are just kind of like stacking all the superstars on like 2 or 3 teams, which makes it kind of like boring because you have nothing to look forward to. Like in March of Madness, you know, in college basketball, there's upsets all the time. You know, you can't really guarantee who's going to win. You don't know who's going to win. But like at this point with, you know, the Brooklyn Nets pretty much just, they just mushed everybody together. It's like, we're just not going to lose this year. And it's kind of like, what is the point of everybody else even playing when you really don't have much of a chance? I know they're professionals, but there's people still better than others. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to have to cut in here with this craziness because it is the NBA.
She gonna lie.
Stack away, okay? You're supposed to stack the teams. If you can't step your game up and you don't win championships, that is not the fault of the other teams that are stacked. Now they're gonna stack the good teams, like the Lakers, because that's what you should do. We're not here to hold hands, okay? If you can't step it up, then that's the purpose of stacking. And the purpose of stacking is to make that team the ultimate team.
Okay, so now that you're done with all that, whatever you want to call that,
Truth.
The problem about it is not everybody has a fair chance to stack their teams. And I mean that by this. Some people have undesirable locations. So I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan. I don't want to live in Milwaukee. There's people that don't, you know what I'm saying? There's people that don't want to live in certain cities and certain areas. So like LA, Texas, like New York, Florida, like they have a better chance of getting people, not because their team's good, but it's the location in which they're at. And people want to live there. So those teams like have first dibs at anywhere, you know, if the player wants. That's the biggest reason why. Who doesn't want to live in LA, New York, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Wisconsin, I don't know anybody that's like, I can't wait to grow up and move to Wisconsin. No, nobody says that. You're looking to LA, you know, New York, Florida, Texas, those type of areas. So it's not fair. The only reason Brooklyn was able to get everybody over there is because it's Brooklyn. They didn't stack in some unknown, they didn't stack in Tennessee. They didn't stack in Memphis. They didn't stack in Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? They stacked in a favorable place that has nice living conditions, you know, popularity, whatever. So that's why. It's not fair.
I can see if this series, all we're going to do is argue. I'm just letting you know.
She don't know any better. That's why.
No, I mean, there's a level of truth to that.
That's all true. What do you...
But there's also income. Who else is on the team? And the track record of the team. They're not going to stack away in LA if people aren't winning in LA.
Not true.
If they didn't have LeBron there to get other people to the team.
LA was stacked almost since the NBA started. They have 17 championships for a reason, because it's a favorable place. Because it's a favorable place to live. People want to go to popular places. They want to see things. They want nice houses, whatever the dream life. That's in those locations. You know what I'm saying? LA's also going to have more money than other teams because they have more marketing. It's more favorable.
How do you explain Vegas?
Vegas isn't a bad place to live either.
It's not a bad place to live.
It's popular.
But it's not a stacked team. I mean, they have Zion, they have good players on there.
But that's not even in Vegas.
Oh, the Pelicans?
Yeah, no, they're not in Vegas.
My bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but either way, like,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're not in Vegas, but still, like, Vegas isn't a bad place to live either. People like want to go to Vegas, the casinos, the hotels, all types. There's reasons, betting, all types of places. Again, Wisconsin, nobody's looking forward to living in Wisconsin. So.
But you actually think that they're not stacking those teams because of where they are located?
A lot of people.
You think that's the majority of it? I mean, that might be part of it. I will.
Okay, so
but
Kawhi Leonard won a ring in Toronto. He left to go to LA. You won, which is why people go to teams, is to get a ring. He got a ring and said, I'd rather lose in LA. That don't make any sense.
LA.
I understand that, but why would you leave a comfortable position?
To go home.
No.
He wanted to be back.
But he wanted to go back to a nice place. He's going back to LA.
He told you why. He said he wanted to go home.
He also could have played with LeBron.
Yeah, but
Why he ain't go
he
there?
didn't like LeBron.
Okay.
I mean, he never like technically said he didn't like.
Because he
LeBron,
doesn't
but
want to stack the teams. That's why.
That is not why.
He wants to. He said he didn't want to play with LeBron. He wants to keep it competitive. That's why. Or else anything. They're both in LA. You might as well play for the team you almost guaranteed to win
but
for.
LeBron has a rep of tearing teams up. Now, I'm not saying he's actually doing this, but he has a reputation for people not really wanting to work on the same team with him.
That's not true at all. A bunch of people want to play with LeBron.
They want to play with LeBron, but
Westbrook is people don't want to.
How many people turned down LeBron for him wanting to recruit them? A lot of people did.
Not a lot of people. Of most people that play for LeBron,
Ask Kyrie Irving.
But Kyrie was being selfish though.
He wanted to.
He
work
also
with LeBron.
apologized for leaving. And he said, you know what, you were right. This was more than what I thought it was, blah, 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 blah. Because he got beat up in Boston, and they ended up having to leave. Because it was Milwaukee.
Yeah, he did he got beat up.
Milwaukee, best team in the NBA if you ask me.
No, that would be the Lakers.
Let's hide that shirt. Best team in the NBA.
That would be the Lakers.
Milwaukee beat them. Bad, too. We won like 4-1 or something.
I don't think he should have left. I mean, but everyone was saying he shouldn't have left.
Because he was
But
being
he didn't-
egotistical.
Do
Most
you
people
think he
would want to
didn't
play
leave
for LeBron.
because LeBron kind of was trying to make him.
He wanted to be his own
Second.
superstar. Well, he's going to be, almost anybody's going to be second with LeBron on the court.
This is true.
So you can't control. Anthony
don't know
Davis
what I'm
is
talking
second
about.
with
This is
LeBron on the court. It doesn't matter. It's LeBron. At that point, you just got to take the back seat and just, unless he's almost dead, which spending $2 million on your body every year is probably not going to happen, you're going to be second. And he didn't want to be second. He wanted to be superstar Kyrie Irving. Then he found out he's a Walmart edition.
Oh.
He's still second
ouch.
now. He has to watch Kevin Durant and James Harden play.
He wasn't a strong leader, I'd have to say.
No,
And it
but
kinda
he's not
showed.
as good as a player as he thinks he is. That's the problem. He thought he was like, oh, I won the finals. I had a good part, which he did have a big part. I still think he should have won MVP because I feel like he carried that team towards the last 3 games. But people gonna hate me for saying that, but whatever. But he wanted to be superstar Kyrie Irving, and now he had his chance. He messed it up because nobody picked Milwaukee to win that series. They actually picked Boston, and then lost.
So you're saying I misunderstood that wasn't leaving just because of LeBron.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't leaving because of
because
LeBron.
he wanted
was leaving
to be
because
a
it wanted
superstar.
exactly because he wanted to be a superstar, and he's still not one.
Oh.
So now what happened? You didn't solve your problem. Like what you wanted still hasn't happened. So now you just look like an idiot. But
Speaking of people that can't carry the team, this digresses off the subject, but what happened to the Warriors? I don't mean to be mean.
so it's the fact that they lost Kevin Durant. So
yes, but didn't you think that? And I love Steph Curry, but didn't you think he was going to be able to step up and kind of do?
Stephen Curry's averaging 30 points a game right now.
Yeah, but it's not doing what it did when K was on the team.
But it's not about that. He's also missing Klay Thompson, which is an amazing player for
Yes,
them.
he is.
Draymond's not performing at the level he used to. But Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre aren't what they need. They're just nice people. But for their team, they're based off of their ability to shoot. They can't shoot. So it changes the entirety of their offense. So you can't rely on, because Kelly Oubre shoots like 29% from the 3, which is terrible.
That's pretty
like you have a higher chance of a coin flip than him making a 3. So it's like the team's just jacked up, and that's more of that problem. Curry's out there by himself pretty much. But people are like, oh, Curry gonna be trash, blah 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 blah.
That's what people are. Yep.
And he's out here averaging 30, and everybody quiet. Now they're like, oh, well, he can't make the playoffs. Well, his team sucks. He can only do so much at 6'3", 180 Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little dude, so you can only do so much.
He's a phenomenal player.
But either way, like I said, the teams are unfair. And so, as a Milwaukee fan, best team in the NBA.
Oh my goodness. So this is probably never going to happen, but if they were to put LeBron on the Bucks, would you complain then, or would you be like, oh?
It depends on who he has around him. Like first LeBron moving to Milwaukee is just.
Oh well, that's probably not gonna ever happen. But just
even then, it would just kind of be like almost nobody else really has much of a chance if if they keep Giannis and LeBron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was like last year. That's the crazy part. Just last year was more balanced. Most people had like 2 superstars, and you kind of like battled it out, and just if you outplayed somebody, you were gonna win. But like with this Brooklyn team, and then like. When Miami was together and then when Boston stacked up, it's kind of like, wow. you guys are almost like desperate to kind of win. Like you just don't think you're good enough to where like you have to mash everybody together. So it's so lopsided. So to me, like even though like technically they can lose, but if they're healthy, almost everybody, even Laker fans, are like Brooklyn's probably gonna win. And it's not because you know the other teams aren't good or like LeBron's just worse. It's just the fact that like you can only do so much.
But do you think that forces them to step up the game then?
It can, but you have to think though, like if we all practice 10 hours a day, there's still going to be people better than others. It's just so at a point, but we're talking about like LeBron, like Durant and James Harden are like the top 1% in the NBA, and they're both on the same team. With Kyrie Irving, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus, like they don't have any bad players. Like all their players are like top 10 in their position. So their whole starting lineup might be at the All-Star game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so
but
it's
I do
ridiculous.
feel like that makes you have to step it up.
It does.
It makes the other teams have to work harder, faster, stronger. They're not going to just be able to just sort of, you know.
But that's an assumption of motivation. So
yes,
psychologically, there's two ways that go. There are some people that'll work harder to reach the level that they need to in order. And there's a lot of people, most people just lose the motivation to play because they feel like they don't have a chance. And so when you feel like you don't have a chance, that's the problem.
Yeah.
When you feel like you don't have a chance, people kind of just go out there and they just play. They're not playing to win. They're kind of just playing. Like, you know, this is my job. I'm going to do it. So when you lose that motivation, it changes the entirety of the league. And like I said, it also affects money. You can't, you know, people that make money off of bets and stuff like that, there's really no point in betting this year. You only, like, you can bet, but it's not likely. You don't want to just throw a whole bunch of money just to lose it. You're going to put your money where you have a likelihood of making something out of it. But the margins are going to be significantly smaller because in Vegas, Brooklyn's the #1 team to win. So if you bet on Brooklyn, you're going to win like maybe 1.3 of whatever you invest versus like last year where it was like more marginalized, you know, the upset, Miami Heat beating the Milwaukee Bucks. So I know a lot of people that made a lot of money off of that because it's something like just like March of Madness. Like I said, some people, that's their income is betting. And so March of Madness, like, it's so unpredictable. Like you could lose a bunch of money or you could bet on some random team and then next thing you know, you just made a whole bunch of money because they went further than everybody thought. So that's why they do a lot of money for brackets, you know, who's going to win. And next thing you know, that one random dude that picked this, you know what I'm saying, this little sorry team to go all the way and they go all the way. Like some people make $10,000, $20,000 doing that type of stuff. So I don't know.
But I hear what you're saying and I agree with some of it, but I feel like it's the NBA. I mean, that is the top of the line place, right? To do your job as a basketball player. So, but I feel like that's why it should be that challenging. That's why, I mean, if you're demotivated by the fact that, you know, there's 2 great players or 3 great players on one team, then that shows where you are mentally. That you shouldn't be, whatever happens from that state of mind, and you don't win as a result of that. If you put, okay, I'll say it this way. If you put LeBron on a totally failing team and they have no motivation on that team, it's not going to change his motivation. Now, he may still not win, but he will step it up because he will recognize that that team is not that good, where his goals and what he wants to do and the outcome of the wins. He's going to want those in his own motivation. He doesn't need anybody outside. That's why he's LeBron versus somebody with lesser.
But my
That's
thing
why
is this.
they're lesser.
So if it was like that, then you pretty much shouldn't let anybody go anywhere else but the team they get drafted to. Because at that point, you might as well just stay motivated, focus on your game, and work to get better. But it's not like that.
No.
People go places where they have a better situation. LeBron didn't stay in Cleveland. He left because they didn't have enough talent to get him any wins. And he did everything he could, and they weren't winning. Even he left. And you talk about his motivation, he left the team he came from.
Saying, but that's the name of the game. It is.
But I'm saying,
it's your own motivation and how many wins you want to have. So
but it's not 100% in your control.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're stacking it. It's not stacking it to where like you have a good chance of winning. They're stacking it to where like we bet not lose. Like that type. Like we're not supposed to lose anything. Not like we have a chance to win.
Yeah.
We're not going to win. And that professional basketball, like the top players versus other players, there's a huge margin. Like just like
is.
financially, the
Yeah.
top 1%, they have way more money than everybody
That gap
else.
is large.
The gap is huge. Like it's Kevin Durant, LeBron, like James Harden, and then like everybody else is like off. I'm not even showing it on the screen. That's how low they are. And so like
No disrespect to any of the other players.
no disrespect, disrespect. Because if y'all was better, it'd be easier.
Oh, see.
But to that, it's to that point where it's like, there's no point. I don't even want to watch this. I really don't. And I'm almost like, we're all like, as messed up as it is, I hope Brooklyn loses.
Oh,
I hope they
come
do.
on.
Because it'll be a lot more entertaining if they do. And if they lose, oh
What?
my gosh, people are going to go crazy. They're ESPN and all types of sports channels will have so much to talk about. And I feel bad for the players on the team because, like, if they do lose, like, they're going to get so much shade thrown at them. People will send hate mail, all types of
I don't
stuff.
think they're gonna lose though. Who do you think's gonna be or should be? Not that who's gonna be, but who do you think should be
In the what?
in the playoffs?
In the playoffs? I mean, like I said, it doesn't really matter because there's only like really 2 teams that are going to go. But right, there's really, like it's either going, it's
But
probably
if you
going to be
were
Brooklyn versus
picking,
LA.
would you pick those 2 teams that were stacked?
I would pick the Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets to go. The only thing that's going to get in the
Which is
Brooklyn
why
Nets
you
way
stack the teams.
but the only thing that's going to like change anything is health. Like Anthony Davis is still injured. LeBron's not going to the finals without Anthony Davis. I don't care how good he is. He's not going to the finals without Anthony
help,
Davis.
yeah.
And like if Kevin Durant's injured, like Brooklyn can still win. They're still favored to win without Kevin Durant. But like if Kyrie Irving, which unfortunately he's an amazing player, but he gets injured all the time.
Unfortunately, no, he isn't.
No, like if you look at his like injury chart, he's literally injured like from head to toe, every single part of his body. You have to take that into factor.
Yeah.
And so if James Harden is out there by himself, it's I don't think they're gonna win. So, but for the most part, like it's either gonna be LA, both LA teams. Don't do that.
just in case you were wondering.
Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and like that's pretty much it. Like I have no faith in the Suns. I have no faith in the Jazz. I don't care for the 76ers because they can't shoot.
They cannot shoot.
They can't. They traded away a lot of their shooting, so it's like you're just gonna be in there
Unfortunately,
shooting layups together. No. So like you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those other teams, Dallas is good, but they're.
Dallas.
It's just it's pretty lopsided. So
Yeah,
we're
it's
pretty much
pretty
waiting to see how many games Lakers can get out of Brooklyn before they lose. That's what we're watching.
What? This is the start of the argument. I feel like we're gonna have quite a few disagreements.
She don't know any better.
Whatever.
I didn't raise her like that.
I keep it honest, okay? And I think about the business aspect of it too.
They're not. The other teams are gonna make less money. There's no reason to buy a Milwaukee jersey if you.
Again, LA. I don't care.
Yeah, see.
Step it up, okay? If you want to beat us, step it up.
They stepped it up. They mashed them together. And we're gonna be laughing at LeBron getting beat up on.
We will be covering the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah,
and we
we'll
will
be
be covering, like everything leading up to that. But we're gonna do sports now.
Watch.
And
It's gonna be 2 teams in the finals. Just like I said, it's gonna be same 2 teams I just said, the Lakers and the Nets. And
I
let's
say they should be because they are.
one team requires talent, which is the Lakers. You have to like work to win it. The other one just shouldn't lose. That's stupid. That's so dumb.
And when they do, not that I'm biased. Okay, I'm biased.
We get it.
Yeah, I'm clearly biased. I'm probably biased as you watch these series on pretty much every team that's my team. All right, you want to add something at the
This
end?
is the best team in the NBA. That's what that's what I'm gonna throw in there. This is the best team in the NBA. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
Please don't forget to do that. Tune in for the next video. I'm gonna be crying throughout the playoffs because I don't think Milwaukee has much of a chance to do much of anything. So
I will cry tears of joy when I will get my second shirt for
I'll be
2000.
crying out of depression.
21.
It'll be straight depression when we play Brooklyn. It's just gonna be so sad. I'm thinking about it now.
Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.